Shea again, sizing up Murphy. Drives, floats, hangs, and scores on the turnaround. J-Dub way behind the three-point line, and Hicks way behind the three-point line. Got blocked. What a rejection by Holmgren. Standing tall like a wall.
This is Lou Dort. You're listening to the Uncontested.
What is up, and welcome to the Uncontested Podcast, coming to you live Sunday, November 10th, on the heels of the Oklahoma City Thunder losing their second game of the season to the Golden State Warriors to a score of 127-116. Get into that in a moment. Also, prayer circle for Chet Holmgren. I think it is needed. I'm your host for the evening, Jacob Niffen. I've got my guy, a little two-man Jacob squared game tonight. JD is with me.
Fella.
I always love the singular fella. Makes me feel special.
It's rare.
We are also brought to you by the Blue Wire Podcast Network and Prairie Artisan Ales. Rocking the Prairie shirt tonight. Silva's rocking the Prairie beer tonight. Lots of folks slamming some Prairie beers in honor of Chet. God rest his soul.
That might come up multiple times in this.
I think it took him a while to find a coffin that sized. It's a long coffin.
It's a long coffin, you know. They're already so expensive for regular sized people.
It's Lou Dort, or sorry, not Lou Dort. It's Chet Holmgren. Like, you got to cut him in half and put him in like two separate coffins.
Yeah,
you just sever at the waist.
Yeah, well, or you just fold them.
Hey, thank you guys.
Great, everybody.
Thank you guys for tuning into the pod tonight. We appreciate you. If you are watching live, hop over there in the chat. Say some funny stuff to lighten the mood a little bit. Also hit that like button on this video. That'd mean a lot to us. If you're watching on YouTube at a later point in time, you can still press the thumbs up button and leave a comment. If you're listening to your podcast platform of choice, drop us a 5-star rating. We'd really appreciate that. Follow us on social media, and you can join the Patreon. There's a QR code up in the corner of the screen, or just go to patreon.com/theuncontested. We're having a great time over at the Uncontested Patreon. We have our next bonus pod is coming up soon. So if you want to get in and be part of that, just go ahead and hop on in. It's a good community that will help you won't help you forget about the death of Chet Holmgren, but it'll at least help you cope.
Yes. We have a good time in there. You know, it was emotional today. We were all kind of reacting to the news together. And you just kind of let your thoughts fly. But we try and stay positive. We try not to. We could be negative, but we're going to be positive to each other in the chat.
So, with that being said, we got a full show for you guys tonight. We're going to break down this Golden State Warrior loss. We are going to talk a little bit of Thunder basketball. We're going to play a game of Pretender or Contender, do some Prairie trivia, make some predictions for the next week. Should be a good one, JD. Just a little two-man game. Just a nice little chat, just the two of us.
Just the two of us. I'll monitor our chat through the way. C. Will says, why did Ibrahim's chat get removed? I don't know. I did not see that. Also, you mentioned trivia. It's just going to be you asking me questions. So if I get them all wrong, it's all on me. I can't hide.
It's going to be a really poor trivia segment tonight.
Yeah, I can't hide behind the achievements of others.
Here you go. You can blame Nick for going to the Dallas Cowboys game. Why anyone on earth would choose to do that, I don't know.
Yep.
You can blame Taylor for being in Owasso.
Yep.
And you can blame Justin, DNP concussion protocol.
Yeah, DNP needs water.
That's accurate.
Yes.
Brother needs to drink some water. Failed the piss test.
Yep.
All right, let's talk OKC Golden State, JD. Thunder lose 127-116. Golden State outscores the Thunder 39-25 in the second quarter and 42-21 in the third quarter. That was really the story of the game. The Thunder make an incredibly valiant effort in the fourth, got it down all the way to 6, I believe, at one point. Just could not get over the hump. But a great effort at the end, regardless. The team drops to 8-2. There is the Chet Holmgren of it all. We will get into that, and I think we kind of saved that for the end of the talk. Let's start by just talking about the game itself. What were, minus Chet, what were some of the big thoughts, feelings, takeaways for you in this one?
Yeah, I think it was obviously the wind was kind of taken out of the arena after the Chet injury, but it was highly encouraging to me that a team without a center can go out there, where you have a Caruso playing center or a Dylan Jones playing center or whoever can be there. And it helps that the Warriors are a shorter team. I think they're one of the shortest teams in the NBA on average. It does help when you have guys like that are just tough, that play well together. I thought you got really good minutes out of AJ Mitchell,
Again,
Cason Wallace, again with AJ. But the moment I started to doubt him a little bit last week, I was like following Nick's train of thought, like, oh, the scouting report's getting out. What's he gonna do? No, he's rebounded. He's been really good. Thought Dylan Jones was fine. There's a lot of good stuff to find amongst the role players. I think.
I agree. I was impressed by DJ tonight for sure. I thought he gave them some pretty good minutes. In 15 minutes, he had 6 rebounds and 2 assists, which was really nice. 4 of those rebounds being offensive. He kind of helped them on that run to make it a game again, really. The Thunder had pulled the starters. We're playing 2 rookies. I thought just kind of mailing it in on the would it be the Figa Baba, the first game of a back-to-back? Is that correct?
I think it must be. It must be.
Also, the Figa Baba.
The Figa Baba. I'm not a plus minus guy. Shout out to Taylor.
Plus minus is basically a team stat.
But in a game that the Thunder at one point they were down by 30, AJ Mitchell did end up a +5. One of the only guys on the team with a positive plus minus.
He's good, man. He's good. Like, he has this move where he drives to the basket and he like half pump fakes a layup and then goes right back into it. And it gets his defender just off balance enough that he can make the shot. I don't know. He can play. He is tough as shit. And I love that about him. Like, there was, oh goodness. Don't open the group chat, JD.
I just did.
You just did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's awesome.
There was a moment in time, I think in that second quarter, where AJ Mitchell and Ousmane Dieng were on the court at the same time. The difference in aggression, physicality, and just dog is stark. It's a very, very stark difference between the two of them.
And as much as we have tried to talk up Ousmane, you see him play against not to offend the other teams that he's played well against, but like a more real team in the Warriors, like a more veteran-laden, tough team. Like, he's just not a guy you want going up against Draymond Green. Like, amongst the,
Absolutely.
if you can name the top
Draymond might kill him.
He might kill him. If you could name the 5 players that you would not want to match up against Draymond Green, he might be in the top 2.
Yes, I agree. Nick Jordan in the chat says, OU loss, OSU loss, OKC loss, Dallas Cowboys loss all this weekend. Folks, if you want to know how to cope with that, there's a clip of me teaching you how to electrocute yourself. So just go watch that.
And there's Prairie Beer.
And there's Prairie Beer.
A note on AJ before we move on from him.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't he seem weirdly important to the J-Dub plus bench lineups?
Yeah, he's like one of the best table setters on the team.
Yeah, like
he's really good at the drive and kick game. He's really good at the drive and kick game.
They kind of need him.
Yeah.
I kind of thought J-Dub would show more as a self-creator, and I don't think I've not really seen that yet. he's kind of just doing the same tough shot making that he always has done, but he's not like generating the easiest shots for himself.
Mm-hmm.
But having a guy like AJ there, like, kind of need him.
For sure. Now, they're getting a little bit of playmaking from a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Like the first bucket of the game tonight was like swing, Wiggins drive, and then a dump off pass to Lou Dort for a layup. Like, that's awesome. They just don't have a lot of guys that can do that every single play. And I think we thought Caruso would offer a little more of that. He hasn't yet. I think we all thought Dub would do a lot of that lifting. He hasn't really done that yet. But we're 10 games in.
Yeah.
We are 10 games in. In comparison to like an NFL season, this is like game 2.
Yeah. And J-Dub
as far
has
as percentage
better.
of the season that is done.
J-Dub usually gets better as the season goes on. Like
yes.
That is his first 2 years. That was the case. He just kept improving and improving and improving. And now he's going to have to step up even more.
I agree. And when Isaiah Hartenstein comes back, that's another playmaker you're putting on the floor.
And a screen setter, and that'll
a
really,
guy that
really
can
help.
create out of the short pick and roll type of stuff that they will really need. What else from tonight? Draymond still public enemy number 1 in Oklahoma City?
That's kind of what I was thinking we should go to next. He always finds a way to piss off the entire arena whenever he visits Oklahoma City. Tonight would you say, could Aaron Wiggins be public enemy number 1? He was kind of the John Wilkes Booth to Chet Holmgren's Abe Lincoln tonight.
Oh my God. That's incredible, JD. That's a bar.
Yes.
We need a sounder that's just like, that's a bar.
That's a bar. The air horns or something.
The air horn.
Yeah.
Yes. Andrew Wiggins is John Wilkes Booth.
Yes.
But Draymond's just he just sucks, dude.
He punched Lou Dort in the face essentially, and
yep, didn't even get a flagrant for it. But I think that was the right call by the officials for what it's worth. Draymond tonight hit 2 threes, which probably won't happen again the rest of the year. That's the thing for me with this game is the Warriors put up 127. They shot 50, 48, 70% splits, 21 of 43 from 3. Which to me is absurd. And I want you to hear these 3-point numbers. So Steph was 7 of 13. You just can't do anything with that. Like, I thought the defense on Steph was good. But when you get 2 of 3 from Draymond, 2 of 4 from Andrew Wiggins, 5 of 8 from DeAnthony Melton, 2 of 4 from Jonathan Kuminga, those are the guys you want shooting. Like, if you would have told me coming into the night that Draymond, Kuminga, and Kyle Anderson were going to combine for 9 3-point attempts and Melton was going to take 8 3-point attempts, I would have told you that that's a Thunder win. Those are the guys that you want shooting the ball.
Yeah. Also, I do have to bring attention to this since Nick Jordan also caught it. You did call him Draymond.
Draymond.
But yes.
Asshole. How about that?
Yes. Yeah, I would agree. And ultimately, Steph, the night celebration is really just, I'm going to have nightmares about that, I think. It's not what you want to see.
No, it's not. And Steph was cooking, but I thought defensively, like the Thunder did what they needed to do. They made the guys that you want to shoot. Now, Steph did get 13 off, right? And again, we're talking about the greatest shooter to ever play the game.
Yeah.
But those other guys, like, you're fine with those shots.
You are.
They hit them.
Yeah. I mean, it's guys that you have to, like, Wiggins played great. And great-ish. He scored 18 points, better than what he was doing last year, where he was going through a bunch of personal stuff. And I don't know. It's you would think you would get like a Brandon Przemski game if they're gonna win, something like that. Did you catch? I caught this, and maybe I just don't know much about Brandon Pajemski. Is he not a shooter? Because Chris Fisher said, like, he took a three, and Chris Fisher immediately said, he's not a shooter, so it's okay if they like him taking that shot. Isn't that like what he does? Maybe I'm wrong.
I think he shot well last year, but
okay. He's shooting 17% this year.
Yeah, I don't know. The person that I went to the game with tonight, we just talked about like his body language is bad too. Like he was arguing with Steve Kerr. Just he hasn't been good. It's been a real fall off for him since his rookie year.
Yeah, and the mask he has right now makes him look like more of an asshole. So
he kind of looks like from a distance, he kind of looks like a bastard version of Carrot Top.
And Carrot Top, I won't take us down a full rabbit hole, but he disturbs me. His entire aura, and the way he looks just disturbs me. But what can
Pajemski looks like if Carrot Top had brown hair and stuck his finger in the socket.
Getting a little socket talk here at the 17-minute mark of the podcast. Is it time? Is there anything else we want to discuss before we get into Chet?
Shea had a pretty inefficient night, but got to the free throw line a ton. I thought J-Dub was really good. And we didn't see Wiggins much in the second half at all, which I thought was kind of surprising.
That was weird because he was a impact player like he always was in the first quarter. I thought he started, and SGA. I don't know if you follow this same line of thinking, but his decision making this season has been off.
Agreed.
And maybe that's just early season. I'm trying stuff out, but there's like mental errors happening late in games. And now he hasn't played a lot late in games this season at all. Like this is one of two games, this and the Nuggets game, where he has. Maybe he's just working through some rust in clutch scenarios, but that's stood out. You kind of like last season before that, you kind of expect him to just deliver in crunch time. And I thought he was taking some ill-advised shots tonight and wasn't his efficient self.
Agreed. It's only 10 games.
Yeah, it's just 10 games.
That's where I'm at. They're 8-2.
Nothing to overreact about.
Only 10 games. All right. It's time. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today. Don't they say at funerals or at weddings?
I don't know. We are gathered here today to celebrate the basketball career of Chet Abraham Holmgren.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, he fell. He played 5 minutes and fell.
It was a good defensive play. He rotated over, contested an Andrew Wiggins layup, and just got turned sideways in the air, came down right on his hip, and it was bad.
Could hear him yelling through the TV.
Could you really?
Yeah.
They immediately called a timeout. Trainers ran over and put a towel over his head, which gave me like putting the white sheet over a body vibes.
Yep.
Did not like that at all.
Yeah, it's like, look away. He gave a thumbs up.
He did. He had to get helped off the court. Could not move that leg at all.
Couldn't put weight on the leg.
Right leg, right hip.
Yep.
Could not put any pressure on that thing at all. It was kind of funny because he got up and two trainers who are like 5'8" tried to like throw his arms over their shoulders, and he was like hunched over.
Can't do that.
So they had to get Jay Will and Hartenstein out there to help him, and then helped him to the back. We did not hear anything until halftime, which was just simply right hip injury, will not return. And then after the game, Mark did not have any updates. I don't know, JD. I feel like it would be irresponsible of us to speculate on what the injury is.
Yeah.
Neither of us are doctors.
Yeah, we're of the many things that you and I are, we are not doctors, and we are not at all qualified to speak on this. We can only hope for the best.
Yep.
You hope it's not like I've gone through my head. It's like, this was a thought I had. I was like, okay, if I broke my hip and just shattered it into a million pieces, would I get on Instagram? Because
Good thought. It's a good thought.
Chet did get on Instagram.
He did.
If I shattered my hip into a million pieces, would I hold my thumb up? Probably not. I give you a thumbs down.
That would be bold. That would be bold.
I give you a thumbs down if I shattered that shit. So,
Smoot does bring up a good point in the chat. He says, last time you and I were on a podcast speculating about a Chet injury, you missed the year. So we're not going to speculate on what it is.
No.
We're going to hope for the best. I think it's fair to say he will not play tomorrow night against the Clippers.
yeah.
So what the Chet injury means for us, once we get the information, we'll talk about it. Right now, I think we talk about what the coming week or so looks like with this team not having a single big man on the court.
Yeah, that's the immediate issue. You need an immediate fix, and maybe they'll call up Alex Reese again, like, hey brother, we actually really need you now.
Get back out of the bar, buddy.
Get out of the bar, get back into the lineup. Mike Muscala, what are you doing? Are you in shape? No? Okay, that's still fine. Come on down. I don't know what it's going to look like necessarily.
I don't think anybody's coming up. I think this is just the team until they get Hartenstein back, which should be around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so they're out their first, second, and third string center.
Mm-hmm. And their small ball center. And Kenrich Williams.
Yep. I saw a good old HP basketball tweet. You know, the Cavs beat the Warriors, Warriors beat the Thunder, and people were like, dude, they're missing Chet. And he's like, well, every team gets injuries during the season. They're missing all of their centers. All of them. Every team does not miss all of their centers.
Exactly.
This is a uniquely bad situation.
It's like, I'm not going to make that comparison. Never mind.
You could even say they're missing 4 centers because Kenrich Williams.
Kenrich, yeah, they're small ball center.
Yeah.
So this week, JD, they have the Clippers, the Pelicans, the Suns, and the Dallas Mavericks. That's Ivica Zubac. No clue on the Pelicans. They like everybody is hurt on the Pelicans. Yves Missi. Josef Nurkic. And then Derek Lively. And who's the other idiot down there? Gafford. If they don't bring anybody up or fill a roster spot, which I don't think is happening, what does this look like?
I mean, it looks like Dylan Jones is going to be playing center. It looks like it's center by committee, which is
you know what I think the starting lineup is tomorrow night.
Same as it was tonight with Wiggins. Well, no, I don't know.
Wiggins did start tonight.
Wiggins started tonight. Yeah.
If I'm them tomorrow night, I'm starting Shea, Dort, Dub, Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso.
Caruso at the 5.
I'm just going. That was the lineup they threw out there kind of at the end of the game. To me, that's you're going to hell, buddy, lineup, because it's just perimeter defenders everywhere.
For the Thunder or for the opposing team?
For the opposing team.
Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be difficult because you would think that the Clippers' game plan will be to get Ivica Zubac involved a lot. But the Thunder have proved that small ball lineup that swarms entry passes can work. So,
I mean, they did pretty damn well for a whole season with Kenrich, who is 6'7", 6'6", playing center. Like, they can do it. But imagine this: dark room. This guy's sitting,
looking to make a vow soon.
This guy's sitting in a recliner. Nothing but a lamp on. He's got a big old Greek cigar.
I don't know where this is going.
Lights it up. His phone rings. It's Sam Presti. Sam says, "Poku, we need you back."
Sign me up. I'm in.
Bring him back. Bring him home.
Do we see more Jang?
At the 5, it says a lot that among the players I would expect to see at the 5, Jang is like not in the top 5 of those players.
I would rather see Dub, Caruso, and DJ, honestly.
I'd rather have or even Dort at this point. It's just it's a physicality thing. Like
it's a toughness, physicality.
The NBA is positionless now, but the one thing that the 5 does require traditionally is toughness. And like you have to be sturdy and stand your ground, and that's just Usman's like a wet noodle out there.
Wet noodle is a good description for Usman Jang.
Yeah. Thunderchick says we should get a whole podcast of JD imaginings.
Sign up to the Patreon tier, folks.
Yeah.
We'll do a pod that's just JD just riffing.
That'll be great for everyone.
Saying whatever.
Yep.
Any other? I mean, it's hard to have Chet thoughts besides he's hurt and I'm sad.
Yeah, I mean, I had a hard time paying attention to the game after it happened, to be honest, because what else are you supposed to think about other than, is he out for the season? Is he not? What's going on? When are we going to get an update? It's easy to overreact, but we'll know. What I hope is that we do not get a Shams notification at 3 a.m. with like horrible news. Like just let me be awake when it happens. You know?
I'm with you.
Do you think should we talk about scenarios that could come based on the timeline of Chet? Like if you want to riff a little bit about that, like say Chet is out until the All-Star break.
I say we don't curse it.
Okay.
I say we don't curse it.
My only sentiment is Isaiah Hartenstein's really good.
Yes, and he should be back in 3-ish weeks.
Yeah. That's I'm hanging on to that thought. I'm just like, come back, and we'll go from there.
Totally agree. You want to do some trivia?
Yes. Hopefully I don't embarrass myself.
You got your whiteboard?
See. I do.
I need to get my whiteboard as well. Hold on, folks. All right, I got my whiteboard. JD has a chance to take a resounding lead because these other dudes aren't here to answer questions. I would like to shout out the folks in the Discord who sent me trivia questions. I lost my train of thought. We appreciate you. JD, wait, you got to talk about your beer first, buddy.
Oh, you're right. Is my volume good now, by the way, to do a peek behind the curtain? You sound
good. You sound good.
All right. Tonight I'm drinking a beer called Shifty. Some pretty cool art. This is not a sour like what Prairie is generally known for. This is a modern Pilsner. So if you're a fan of your traditional light beers, this is just a step up from that. It's what I'm liking these days more than your usual light beers. It's got a little more heft behind it. I wish I had about 12 of them right now so I could deal with the Chet news, but here we are.
All right. Make sure to go to Prairie Artisan Ales in downtown OKC off of 3rd Street.
8th Street.
8th Street, 3rd, 8th, wherever. Play trivia every Sunday afternoon. I believe it starts at 4:30. Trivia question number 1 comes from our guy Smoot, who says, how many different former Thunder players, only those who actually played minutes, have played against the Thunder this year? Former Thunder players who have played against OKC this year, they actually had to play on the Thunder.
Am I allowed to look at the schedule so I can remember the teams, or am I just...
Sure. And I'll read the schedule as well for those playing at home. It has been the Nuggets, the Bulls, the Hawks, the Spurs, the Blazers, the Clippers, Magic, Rockets, Warriors.
I'm going to go with 5. I don't know if you want to see.
You don't have to name them.
No. Yeah.
But you're going 5.
I'm going to go 5. Here, I'll show you.
You're going to show us the 5?
This is not a very good 5. Looks like an S.
Well, that's a fine 5. I like it.
Okay. Is that correct?
It is not. Oh, I got a dog
Is
barking.
it more?
What's the dog doing?
What the
dog doing?
The correct answer, 9.
Damn.
You want to try to guess the 9?
Yeah, can you name the teams, and I'll just try and rattle off who the hell's on the teams that play for
We got
OKC?
2 on the Rockets.
Steven Adams. And who the hell else is on the Rockets that
He's
play for
old.
He's old. He's old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think I know.
Jeff Green.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I didn't realize he was on the Rockets.
We have 1 from the Clippers.
1 from the... Oh, James Harden.
Yes. We have 1 on the Trailblazers.
Jeremy Grant.
We have 1 on the Spurs.
Chris Paul.
We have 1 on the Hawks.
Vit Krejci.
We have 2 on the Nuggets.
Russ. 2 on the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm. New Nugget.
Oh, damn it. What's his name? I see his face. He was drafted by the Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. What's his name? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Dario Saric.
Yes, Dario.
And then 1 for the Bulls.
Josh Giddey.
There you go.
Yeah, I forgot Saric, Chris Paul, Jeff Green.
All right. The next trivia question. The NBA, this is from Dr. Do 94 in the Discord from the Patreon. He says the NBA the NBA has a record tying 125 international players this season. 2 teams are tied for first with international players at 7 apiece. 5 teams are tied for second with 6 apiece. Which 2 teams are tied for first with 7 international players apiece?
Okay. 7.
Yes, 2 teams have 7 international players on roster.
Can I guess the Thunder as
You got to guess 2 teams. Write down 2 teams and then
Okay.
tell me who they are. Yeah, for those of you in the chat asking about Lindy Waters on the last question, Lindy didn't play tonight. Asking about Kevin Porter Jr., he never played in Oklahoma City.
I've got one answer. You know, when I listen to a bunch of other podcasts, and there's always trivia segments on them sometimes. And in my car listening, I'm like, how do they not know that? It's so obvious. But now in this seat, it's like, oh, you can't think of anything on the spot. That's why.
2 teams.
Oh, God. This isn't right. This can't be right.
You ready?
Yeah, I
you
don't
got?
feel good about it. I got the Thunder and the Mavericks.
Oh, okay. The Thunder is 1, so you got half a point.
Okay.
The other team, the Portland Trailblazers.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. According to Dr. Do 94.
Okay. Would not have guessed that. I was thinking like maybe Raptors, maybe. I was usually like back in the day. It was always the Spurs, had a bunch of international guys, but not so much right now. I don't know. It's a good question though. It's very good questions.
Third and final trivia question for OKC Prairie Artisan Ales Trivia segment is from our girl Thunder Chick 2010 in the Discord. She says, after tonight's game, we have 8 wins in 10 games. In the 17-year history of the team, what is the median number of games it takes us to reach 8 wins? Median means in the middle.
Thank you.
So not an average. It's a certain
right.
number of games. What is the median number of games it has taken the Thunder to get to 8 wins over the past 17 years?
I'm going to guess 12.
Oh, you're close.
It better not be
The answer is 14.
Okay, I almost guessed 13. Another good question, though.
It was. Shout out to Smoot, Dr. Do 94, and Thunderchick 2010 for those trivia questions. We really appreciate you. I believe it is time for a break. On the other side, we are going to take a trip around the association and then make some predictions. We will be right back. And we are back.
Hello.
JD, I think it's time for some around the association.
I don't even know where you're sitting at.
For around the association tonight, JD, let's play a game of Contender or Pretender. Let's look around the league at some of these teams that have had, let's call it interesting starts, and decide if they are contenders or pretenders for a title this season.
Okay, do you want to start at the top of our list here? It's pretty relevant to tonight.
Let's do it. You guide us through the teams while I find the cap of my pen.
All right, good luck to you. Your dog probably ate it and ran away.
I found the cap of my pen.
Number 1 on our list is the Golden State Warriors. Contender or pretender?
8-2 on the season. They just had an at Boston, at Cleveland, at OKC road trip, went 2-1. The context there is the Thunder had no Chet. He died. God rest his soul.
Yes.
I've been impressed with the Warriors.
I have too.
A little bit of a lack of size. But at 10 games in, I'm going contender for the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, I would love to be contrarian here because the Warriors have brought me an immense amount of pain throughout the last decade of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But they seem a little bit inevitable right now. The NBA has a ton of parity right now, and the Warriors are a team that just know how to win basketball games. If you have Steph Curry, if you have Draymond Green, if you have competent floor spacing, like basketball IQ role players, that's a winning formula, and it's proven to be a winning formula for a decade plus. And that's what they have. And they're able to win games. They're a lot like, football analogy, they're a lot like the Kansas City Chiefs right now, who on paper, not a phenomenal roster, but they have one player that knows how to connect the dots and win games. And that's what they have in Steph. And I wouldn't be shocked if they're hanging around in the playoffs and making a ton of noise.
I agree. I think I don't want to call it a rebuild, but they're retooling around Klay Thompson and his absence. I think it's been really, really, really good. And I've been really impressed.
Yeah, it's similar to the Thunder. They just don't really have any, they have a depth, like a lot of good players. You know, the upside might not be there on your Gary Paytons and I'm not a big Kuminga guy. I don't know if you are. But they're all solid. Like there's not a huge drop off whenever Steph goes to the bench. You know, they're still highly competent across the board, and Buddy Hield's been playing his ass off. That's a good story. Yeah, even with it's in their starting lineup, I was kind of shocked. Like DeAnthony Melton and Trace Jackson Davis, who has always sounded like a country music star to me, is just a solid NBA player, and they're back, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is what it is. But they get put into the contender tier. Who's our next team?
Our next team, the Phoenix Suns, who are, I believe, also, I think they're 8-2, 8-1. I'm checking right now to see.
I believe they lost tonight.
Yes.
Who can get there first?
Who can get there?
Suns lost to the Kings tonight. They are 8-2.
8-2, and Kevin Durant is now out.
Yep, he will not be playing in Oklahoma City on Friday night.
He hates playing in Oklahoma City.
What do you think? I let us off with Golden State. You lead us off here.
I am going to go Pretender here.
Okay.
I think they are highly reliant on Kevin Durant being a complete badass for all of his minutes. And I don't think their team is built to be. They don't play a sustainable brand of basketball. I do not think. I think they, over the last few years, they've been like this, where it's like you need Devin Booker to be incredible. You need Kevin Durant to be incredible. You cross both fingers and hope Bradley Beal can stay healthy and be efficient. And he has done so. But outside of those guys, you have just a lot of question marks. Like Tyus Jones, good NBA player, no question. Undersized, can he really play him in the playoffs? Like, that's a question.
Same with Nurkic.
Same with Nurkic.
Same with the rookies they're playing.
Ryan Dunn, who's been a revelation, like looked totally inept on offense in college, and now he's like been pretty solid. But again, he's a rookie.
Who's the other wing defender they have? Was in Utah, then in Brooklyn.
Royce O'Neal.
Yeah. They are very top heavy. Phoenix is. And for that reason, I'm with you. I'm going Pretender.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and solid start for them, but it's
and Bud is a great coach. Tell you one team that wish they had Bud still, the Milwaukee Bucks. They wish.
Yep.
They wish.
They're like 2-8.
They're bad.
Bad.
All right, next team.
Oh, me. The Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota for the chat.
I'll kick us off here. I am taking the Minnesota Timberwolves. We've done all Western Conference teams so far. I will take the Minnesota Timberwolves as contenders. I think Ant is awesome. I think they have a lot of depth. Eventually, maybe they figure out the Gobert-Randall fit. I don't like Gobert, obviously, as much as I hate Rudy Gobert. But they have a solid team. They have nice wing depth. They have a good defense. Ant has been ungodly offensively. Julius Randle will have good offensive nights. Like, I think they are Dante DiVincenzo's great. Like, I think they are built well to make some noise again.
Yeah, I agree. Ant is shooting so many threes.
It's insane.
It's insane. I just think they're gonna figure it out ultimately. I would love if they played Rob Dillingham more. Like it felt like that was kind of the goal of trading up for him at what, pick 8, and he's averaging like 4 minutes a game. So I figured he would be more of a part of things. Maybe that's a plan down the road, but I don't know. They have a good roster and they'll figure it out, I think.
I agree. They got a good roster, a good coach, a good nucleus of players. The West is a little bit different than we thought it would be at the start of the season. I think Minnesota's kind of right in the mix.
Yeah. Now we're going to the East. Next
right,
one up
let's
is
do it.
the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are 11-0 and blew out the Warriors on Friday, I believe.
And have a super easy schedule moving forward.
Yeah, so I don't know when they're going to lose a game.
Gonna lose, yeah. They'll slip
But,
up at some point, but you get to kick us off here.
Yeah, they're another team. There's several teams this season where they just plug in a new coach and it's like, oh, it all makes sense all of a sudden. Like Bud with the Suns, on a different level, JB Bickerstaff with the Pistons. On this level, it's like, oh, Mobley is much more empowered. Like I don't pile on the slander to Evan Mobley, but I've always been like, Chet's way better, no question at all. Mobley has no offensive bag, whatever. Well, now he's being empowered to grab a rebound and run the break and handle the ball more and take more shots. And he's averaging, 18.5 points a game, 8 rebounds, almost 3 assists, a steal, almost 2 blocks. Like he's been awesome. He's been what he should have been. And yeah, Garland turns out he had jaw surgery and lost like 15 pounds or more last season. Like everything's going right for them, and they have a ton of top end talent. Like they may be more of a top heavy team. Like their depth is not great. If you have like Sam Merrill and George Niang and our guy Ty Jerome, it's not the best bench. But if your top 4 are that good, you can win some games.
Yeah. I kind of lean Pretender.
I didn't even say.
Yeah.
I kind of want to lean Contender.
Okay. Our first one that we disagree with. I like that.
Yeah. You go first.
Who's our next team?
Our next team. Oh, the reason why I think they are actually contenders is because of teams like this next one we're going to talk about. I thought the top of the East would be better than it is. And we are 10-ish games into the season, but I think there are teams like the Knicks who just haven't been as good as I thought they would be. They're 4-5. Right.
So the Knicks are our next team.
The Knicks are the next team.
So they did lose tonight, 121-132 to the Pacers. You mentioned they are 4-5. I want you to listen to the Knicks rotation this evening. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Jericho Sims, Deuce McBride, and then Kolek, their rookie.
Yep.
Here's the minutes breakdown. 42, 36, 39, 41, 43, 29, 9, and 2.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's
an
very
8-man
top
rotation, and 2 of the 8 played under 10 minutes.
They're
going to die by the time they get to the playoffs.
Dude.
No one will be healthy.
No, that's a Tom
Their
Thibodeau
starting
special.
lineup is awesome. And they have no depth whatsoever. And those guys, you're playing an 8-man rotation the 10th game of the season? Meanwhile, the Thunder are playing 2 rookies. It's wild to me, dude. I'm going Pretender. They do not have the horses. They do not have the horses.
And I was so high on them. And I don't know what it was. Maybe I thought they would stagger lineups more and like spread this talent out and pair them with more intriguing bench guys. And they are without Mitchell Robinson, so that'll add.
Maybe when he gets back, that helps. But
it's just been weird.
I don't know. Yeah, they just haven't been good.
Did you like the team more when they had Randall and DiVincenzo?
I did.
I did too. I think that's kind of what changed it for me.
I think Randall and DiVincenzo would be better on this team than Karl Anthony Towns, just because you get 2 guys instead of 1.
And they gave up too much for Mikal Bridges.
Yeah,
I get they had to do it. I get he's like a Villanova guy, but damn. Hey, I mean he's averages. I think he's averaging 16 points on the season.
but he's got to play 45 minutes.
5 first-round picks given up to get that guy.
Yep. It's a lot.
Yeah. Whenever Giannis gets traded inevitably, do you think it's less than 5 first-round picks?
Say it again.
Whenever Giannis gets traded inevitably, do you think it is less than 5 first-round picks?
It's either going to be 5 or the equivalent of 5 with young guys.
Yep. And it's the quality of picks coming to play, obviously, but interesting to think
Yep.
about. It's a huge package.
Any more teams?
We have a little bundle here. The
Okay.
Sixers and the Bucks. Teams that,
pretender.
I would agree, and I still can't believe it, but the Bucks are 2-8 and the Sixers are 2-7, and both look deeply flawed. Deeply flawed.
Yeah, I think both are pretenders. I don't have faith in either of them.
This feels like the year of teams aging out a bit and teams kind of having to look themselves. This is like the look in the mirror year for teams that have been like right on the edge or in the muck of being a contender the last 4 years. Like the Sixers, the Bucks. I think the Suns could end up being like this. The Nuggets.
The Lakers. They started hot. They're 5-4 now.
Yeah, it's like you guys need to look at the mirror. Your rosters are flawed. Your rosters are old. You have real problems. Maybe you've traded too much just to be mediocre. It's interesting. That's why I think the Cavs are contenders because I don't know.
Just a bit of a changing of the guard.
Are you looking at standings right now?
Yes.
I was going to ask you how many teams in the East are above 500.
As like a trivia question?
Yeah, just in general.
Oh, yeah, it's 3.
Yeah.
3 teams above 500. The East is just so
and the
bad.
Pacers are at 500. So there's only 2 teams above Cleveland and Boston.
That's true. That's so bad, dude.
That's so bad. The West has...
so bad.
I mean, Dallas is 11 and they're 5-5. The Lakers are 10 or 5-4.
It's wild.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
We want to take our last break of the night, make some predictions, and get out of here?
Yes.
Let's do it. We will be right back. And we are back. JD, it is time to talk about this next week of Thunder basketball. We're assuming Chet is not back this week, yeah?
Yeah, it would be a
so
miracle
let that reflect in your predictions. First game, Monday night, a rematch with the LA Clippers in Oklahoma City. The Clippers currently 6-4 on a 4-game winning streak. So they've been winning since the Thunder beat them. How do you feel about Monday night?
I think it would be easy to say a loss, but I think I'm going to go W. I think the Thunder want revenge after how tonight went. I think they're going to Zubac. It's probably going to eat, but I don't think it's going to matter. Ultimately, the Thunder are going to get a W.
I am with you. The next game, Wednesday, against the New Orleans Pelicans. Everybody is hurt for the Pelicans. They are 3-7. No Zion. Who else is out right now?
Daniel Tice, CJ McCollum, Jordan Hawkins.
W Moneyball for me.
Like everyone is out. W Moneyball for me as well.
Next up, Friday night, the Phoenix Suns, JD.
In Oklahoma City.
In Oklahoma City. All these are OKC games.
No Kevin Durant. Give me an L.
I'm also taking an L. Are you? You moneyballed the Pelicans, right?
I did.
Okay. I will also take the L. The last game is Dallas at home next Sunday, week from tonight.
I think I'm going to have to take the L there also.
I think I am too. I'm going 2-2 for the week.
Yeah. Dallas is just one of those teams where their big men are a real problem. And
they're going to throw a lot of lobs.
That's the thing. They really take advantage of their size. Like the Suns, Nurkic is going to feast, but I don't know. There are just some teams where it's not a huge threat. Dallas will make you pay. And dear God, we're not predicting this game right now, but the Spurs is the next game. I fear for what Wemby's stat line will look like.
We'll see.
We will see. You're right.
We'll see.
You're right.
I think that'll do it for tonight, JD. A little bit of a shorter pod.
One last time.
The 2 of us.
All right, now we're out of here.
Thank you guys for tuning in to The Uncontested. We really appreciate you. Again, if you are in the live chat tonight, go hit that like button on the video. Make sure you sub to the YouTube page. If you are watching afterwards, you can still hit the like button and sub to the YouTube page. It's not just for the live watchers. If you want to join the community, sign up for... I just realized we had like the Prairie Trivia thing on this whole time. Sign up for the Patreon. Patreon.com/TheYoungContessa. We'd love to have you come join the community. We will see you again tomorrow night after the Thunder take on the LA Clippers. Taylor will be with you guys for that post game. And then we are back Wednesday after the New Orleans game, Friday after the Phoenix game, and then next Sunday after that Dallas game. So we will be with you every game of the week. You guys have a great beginning of your week. Send a prayer up for Chet Holmgren. Hopefully we hear something on Monday, and we will talk to you guys soon. Until then, and as always, Thunder up.